Hello again, fourth graders. Happy Wednesday. Um, Today we're going to learn how to graph fractions as decimals. In other words, they're going to give you a fraction, and they're going to have you not just write it as a decimal, but put it on a number line. So let's start with something easy. So they gave you 5/10. Right? Here's a number line. Where would 5/10 go on that number line? Well, it's labeled. Here's 0, here's 1. Right between them is 5/10. 5/10 would go right there. Okay? Okay, what if they gave you 3/10? Well, 3/10 isn't labeled on here, but it is on here somewhere. Um, you know, 0, 5/10 is half, and that's 1. So that's 5/10. I think we have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. You could write those in there, I guess. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10. But anyway, the 3/10 would be right there. Okay. What if they gave you 9/10? Did you find that on here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9/10. Which makes sense because this would be 10/10, and 10/10 is 1. Right? So we've learned how to find those. All right, they can get a little more tricky. They won't always, the number line doesn't have to start at 0 and go to 1. In this case, it starts from 5 and goes to 6. So right between 5 and 6 is 5.5. This gets confusing because it shows the decimal and these ones don't. A lot of fourth graders find it easier to understand if they put 5.0. Because 5.0 is the same thing as 5. It's still 5 and nothing else. Or 6 and nothing else. Then you can fill in the rest of these. This is going to be 5.1, 5.2, 5 and 3/10, 5 and 4/10. You get the idea. So if they then asked you to say, well, where is 5 and 2/10? You come on here, well, here's 5, and there's 5 and 2/10, right there. If they asked for 5 and 7/10, well, here's 5 and 5/10, 5 and 6/10, 5 and 7/10 would be right there. Okay? So again, they give you fractions or mixed numbers, and you have to find them on the graph. Could be a couple more tricky ones, such as this. All right? In this case, you see it goes not only into tenths, but into hundredths. And again, this is confusing to some fourth graders. 5 and 4/10, 5 and 45 hundredths, 5 and 5/10. That is the right order, but it gets confusing because these ones show hundredths and these ones don't. You can change that. You can put a 0 there. Same thing, it's still 5 and 4/10 and nothing else, but you might want to call it 5 and 40 hundredths. 5 and 45 hundredths, 5 and 5/10, or 5 and 50 hundredths. That makes it a whole bunch easier to find something like 5 and 49 hundredths. 5 and 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. There is 5 and 49 hundredths. How about 5 and 52 hundredths? Again, not labeled, but 5 and 50 hundredths, 5.5, 5.51, 5 and 52 hundredths would be right there. Okay. Okay, now I need you to find this number, 2 and 8 hundredths. This is the hardest one of the day so far. See if you can find that on this number line. Where do you think 2 and 8 hundredths should go? Okay, so if you haven't figured that out yet, remember this is in hundredths, and this is only shown in tenths. You can show it in hundredths. This is only shown in wholes, but you can show it in hundredths. It's 2 and no hundredths. 2 and 10 hundredths. So 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths. 2 and 6 hundredths. 2 and 7 hundredths. 2 and 8 hundredths would go right there. If you can do all those, you are all set for today. You may begin. Good luck.